Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to Cebu International Academy. And today, as usual, we'll be asking our students' view about studying in the Philippines, studying at Cebu International Academy, life in the Philippines, and everything. And if you want to get to know more about him, make sure you definitely keep watching. What is your name and where are you from?
Hello, I'm Maxim. I'm from Russia.
Is this your first time in the Philippines?
Yes, it is. It is my first time here.
And what inspired you to choose Cebu International Academy for learning English?
Right now, I'm living in Cebu city, and I decided to look for places where it is possible to take the IELTS exam to receive additional preparation for this particular exam. And I found several places in Cebu city and here in Mactan. I visited all of these places and decided to enroll at CIA.
So you already came to the Philippines before choosing to come to CIA.
Yes, right.
What brought you to the Philippines initially?
Initially, I came here to study English. Before I studied at another school, then I wanted to focus on exactly on IELTS course, and that is why I transferred to CIA.
Wow. So how long have you been in the Philippines now?
Pretty long, actually. I arrived here in January 2023.
Really? So
Yes.
you've been more than a year in the Philippines?
Yes, it's true.
How did you first hear about the Philippines as a destination for learning English?
When I lived in Russia, I searched for different places to learn English abroad. I made a little research regarding this matter and have understood the Philippines one of the best places to learn English in terms of cost, quality, climate, and overall atmosphere, I would say.
Wow, so that is how you got to know about Philippines.
Yes, through my internet research.
To know, and you don't work here. You're just a tourist.
Well, a kind of. I have some affairs here, and right now I focus on the IELTS course.
And what is the reason why you want to take the IELTS exam? Because most of the time when people take IELTS, it's either they want to study abroad or work abroad or relocate. So what is your own reason for choosing to take the IELTS?
Personally, the main goal is to have better job prospects in the future. It may be some international company or working abroad. I haven't decided yet, but I'm pretty sure that IELTS is a very good milestone in every person's life.
So what has been your favorite experience in the Philippines so far?
I really like the attitude of Filipinos towards foreigners. People are really friendly and hospitable here. They are always ready to help you. Although I know there can be pickpocket and similar stuff, so you should be careful, of course, in public places about your belongings. But in general, Philippines is quite peaceful and safe country. Besides the climate, it is great that we have sea or ocean.
Yeah.
Nearby. A lot of islands, a lot of tourist destinations, so you can travel and look around, find interesting places and so on. So it's a pretty good place to live and to study. I'm quite satisfied.
How did you find the teaching methods in CIA compared to the other place you've studied before?
It is only my first week, so my experience is relatively short. I'm going to share my first impressions about the CIA. My particular course is rather intensive, I would say. So we have 4 man-to-man classes plus 4 group classes, besides the daily morning tests. Overall, the schedule is rather intensive, but in the same time, do understand that to receive good scores on the real exam, you should study hard. What I really like is systematic approach of CIA, that you guys have certificated workbooks, I guess, which are published by Cambridge press. Or
Yeah.
it is great that you have good materials, educational material. You have separate man-to-man classes for every module, which is reading, speaking, listening, and writing, plus group classes related to grammar, related to vocabulary, clinic classes where we can check our weekly mock tests and receive commentaries and maybe corrections, recommendations from our teachers. This is really good.
So you think that this is what differentiates CIA from where you've studied before in the past?
Yes, I think so, because not all schools have this thematic approach, can be called academic approach. Not all schools have appropriate educational materials.
So let's talk about the Philippines. What aspects of the Filipino culture do you find interesting or the most surprising?
I don't know so much about Filipino culture. What I have already said, people are really open-hearted here, ready to help, and they're always friendly. Previously, I visited Sinulog Festival. Do you know about it?
Yeah, and I can't wait because Sinulog is going to happen again by January next year.
So I was there only once, but I received a really good impression. It is a particular example of Philippine culture, traditional Philippine festival, different performances related to its history. If you are interested in such historical events, it may be interesting for you as well.
What local Filipino foods have you tried or do you love the most?
I consider that my case is very specific because I am a vegetarian, so my personal choice of food is quite limited. That is why I can't say that I tried a lot of local cuisine, but I know that there are a lot of interesting dishes. You can try traditional Philippine dishes. I consider that you can easily find every Asian cuisine here. There are a lot of opportunities to find good dishes, good cafes here.
Have you had the chance to visit famous tourist spots in the Philippines or other places in the Philippines?
Not yet, unfortunately. I know several places which are pretty famous among tourists, but unfortunately, until now, I haven't had opportunities to visit them.
So you've only been in Cebu.
Cebu and plus Mactan. Speaking honestly, only once an excursion to one of the nearby islands. I guess it is called island hopping, but I don't remember the name of the island. But it was pretty interesting. We could see rural Filipino life, villages. We could swim and dive from our boat.
That's amazing.
Was good.
How do you feel that the local environment and community have contributed to you learning English?
I find it really helpful in terms of learning of the English language, because I would say the majority of Filipinos understand the English language and can maintain at least simple discussion on everyday topics. If you study at some language school, of course, most of the personnel know English pretty well.
What are some challenges you faced while adjusting to life in the Philippines?
Many people could say that they have difficulty about hot weather here, but for me it is not a big deal. I even don't use air conditioner in my apartment.
Really?
Yes.
How do you survive? I can't believe. Sometimes it's so hot.
Maybe it is because I have rather good ventilation. I can open my balcony, and plus I have a window above the entrance door, so it makes a good airflow. Regarding difficulties, the travel to the Philippines was my second trip abroad. Maybe during my first week or had some insecurities related to being in the foreign country. In the beginning, I wasn't confident in my English skills at all. I was shy to communicate with people. Eventually, I learned how to communicate, and I've understood that you don't need to be a professional English teacher or in all details to communicate with people around. If you know basics, you'll be able to explain your ideas, and people should understand you.
What are some differences you've noticed between your home country and the Philippines?
The main difference is, of course, the climate. Because in Russia we have all of 4 seasons. Autumn, winter and spring are relatively cold in Russia. Well, here average temperature is always, I guess, around 30 degrees. The only difference is whether it rains or not.
Yeah.
Taking into consideration this hot weather, there are a lot of bikers here. Unlike in Russia, where people, of course, also use bikes, but only during warm seasons, so there are not so many bikers. Russians in general are more close, not as friendly as Filipinos. I don't mean that Russians are rude, but we just not open-hearted to strangers as Filipinos. I was a bit excited when I noticed that even strangers can easily say hello to me or just give me a smile. This is a good example of cultural difference.
Okay. Have you made any friends from other countries at the academy, and how has that experience been?
Taking into consideration that it is my first week, I would say that I have several fellows or group mates whom I communicate. I just haven't had enough time to get close with someone yet. Plus, I am a walk-in student. So I don't live in the dormitory. For me, it is a bit more difficult to communicate with other students as much as those who live in the dormitory do.
So what about outside? Do you have Filipino friends, other foreigner friends outside of CIA?
Yes, I have some good Filipino fellows.
What advice would you give to somebody considering studying English in the Philippines?
Based on my personal experience, it may be difficult for you to study in Philippines if you are complete novice. It's better to maybe receive some basic English education firstly in the place where you are living. If you don't know basics and teachers explain, for example, grammar or vocabulary to you, you still won't understand it. Suppose that there should be some minimum level in entrance level to begin education abroad. It is not related to the Philippines in particular. It is general advice. From my experience, self-study is very important. Don't rely on teachers, don't rely on any school. If you are really motivated to study, if you're ready to study on your own after classes, only in this case you will receive a good result.
That's very good, Mark. So nice, making this video with you, and I really enjoy all your insights. I think in your IELTS, I think you're going to ace it all. I feel like you're so good, your vocabulary is so good, your grammar and the way you express yourself, I think it's so good. Personally, just my own opinion.
Oh, well, thank you,
Yes.
thank you for this. But my entrance was a bit disappointing.
It doesn't matter. You still have a long time. Thank you so much for your time, Max. I really appreciate you and I enjoy the conversation. And guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think down in the comment section below, and we will see you in our next video. Until then, bye.
Goodbye.
Make your story with CIA.